TTT, brand new station, brand new show, a lot happening in the studio, a lot of buzz. I know we need to have a camera running during the break, right, Rishi? Harry, we need to. On set now, I have with me Rodel Phillips Simmons, who is the Manager of Corporate Communications at the Ministry of Community Development, Culture and the Arts. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
And you've brought with you my paliwal,
yes,
Stephen Taylor.
How you doing?
Who is a special effects makeup artist, one of the first out of Trinidad and Tobago, graduate of the University of Southern California, and also a director. And you've done a lot of work. I see you doing stuff in the U.S. Welcome. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning.
I'm going to start off with Stephen because I know you have already started doing whatever you're doing here during the break. What's going on?
I put on a little mortician's wax. So just starting the basis of the womb, you're creating a little shape and style. So for this
so
one,
you're actually doing a special effect
doing
thingy here on
something,
Carrie's hand?
yeah, something real quick, just an incision.
Yeah.
And the first step is just to create basically the shape and size
And
of
the
it.
size. So while you are doing that and your hand is working, can you work and talk?
I could work and talk.
Okay, so tell us, for some of the young people who might be watching us online or listening to us in their radios or watching us on their television sets, what does it take to get into a career such as this?
Well, it takes a lot of backbone because to get involved in it first, when I started, you get a lot of why you're doing that. There's no industry for it. And a lot of times when I meet young people, they always come to me, how do I tell my mommy that this is something that, you know, is worthwhile?
Makeup, first of all. Makeup. Yeah.
Where's that boy? You know? So that's the first thing, you know, just basically it's more well-known now. People, I know they have all these Zombie Land and all of that in Trinidad. So just get involved. And the good thing about it is you could get material.
Yeah.
Get material, start, practical. I also have a workshop as well coming up on the 20th of October. So there are resources now that I didn't have back in the day. You know?
And I remember we first met when you did the special effect makeup for Sherwin Winchester. You video.
That was my first.
So realistic, right?
Yes. That was my first one. So this is a similar effect from that video.
Right.
On Sherwin's forehead, there's a little incision here.
Right. So while you destroy Carrie's hand, I'm going to talk to
he looked for it.
Rodel. Rodel, you have a youth festival coming up that you want to tell us about.
Yes, we have a youth festival. It's part of National Patriotism Month for 2018.
Yes.
And I mean, it's amazing that Stephen is here because he's actually part of the youth festival. The youth festival is focused on the creative and cultural industry and not the person necessarily on stage, but those who support those on stage. So we have people who are practitioners, young practitioners, in the case of Stephen in special effects makeup, who will be there, of course. We also have persons who do stage management, sound engineering. So it's to expose young persons to other aspects of the cultural and creative industry. We're doing it over 2 days. We have, the first one is tomorrow at the Southern Academy for Performing Arts. It is from 9 to 2. We have workshops. And then we have something called a chat box where you get to interact with some of the practitioners in the field. We have been very fortunate to have persons pay it forward, persons who have come up in the industry wanting to share their experience. As I said, we had 2. The second one is on Friday at Nallis. We have involved and partnered with the Ministry of Education, so the schools are involved directly. And some of the persons who have agreed to come on board for us. And for tomorrow, we have Sean Singh, who is an artistic director. We have Keegan Taylor, who is a music producer.
And writer of so many hits.
Precisely. You know, so he will be sharing his experience. We have Afia Bishop in the fashion industry. From our own ministry, we have Nadia Shaw, who's both an artist and an artist administrator. And we have Tennille. It's a big line.
You know, all these people,
And we have Tennille Clark. So they are going to be with us in the chat box. The workshop tomorrow, we have Ethan Ogis, we have Farley Joseph from the Anjan. So we have a lot of persons who are practitioners. They are not persons who are on the stage, they're the people who support those on the stage.
But I think it's very important that you're doing this because we were saying earlier, I think it was last week, that entertainment is the new oil. And so too, by extension, the creative industry.
So, you know, the ministry is involved a lot in the developmental element of the arts. So it's not just the persons who, the actors and the dancers, because I mean, we just finished Best Village. And believe me, you have just as many young people involved on stage.
Young people like Stephen.
Like Stephen.
Let's go back to Stephen. Let's see what's going on there.
I've been using special effects to keep me young.
on your hand
Well,
right
we
now?
just created the shape. We've used the mortician's wax.
Yeah.
And now I just blended the paint to match his skin slightly, and I'm filling the wound with some red, some blood now.
You think we're going to be done before the end of the interview? If not, we're going to have to leave you on set
somewhere.
and you have to, you know, when you're on set, it's like the director saying,
you know, they're always rushing makeup artists, eh?
Yeah, because we will go, what we can do is we will cross to Rishi for his interview and come back, because I want to see what that, you know, I was telling him maybe he should do it on me, but
I can do it for everybody. Who else wants
I tell you. Okay, so how can people get more information?
They can go on the ministry's Facebook page. All the information is there. They can visit the website, cdca.gov.tt, and of course, Instagram. We're doing a number of interviews, so they can get all the information, write to us, message us.
Yes.
And we're also involving the UWI film program.
Right.
We have Shari Petty, who did Soft Hair.
Shari.
She's going to be part of the chat box. And they've been doing work, UWI's been doing work with Hillview College. So we hope to have a number of shorts produced by the students.
Can I just say, I was a judge at the Hillview College film festival a few years ago, and I was totally blown by the work being done at the film club at Hillview College. People like Michelle Tappin and they who work with the young people there.
Good work is to give young persons opportunity to engage, interact. We have a lot of tertiary level institutions there as well. So there's lots of information available, and we encourage young persons, parents of young persons, come and understand what their passion is.
So we're going to scour our Facebook page, because I'm almost sure we have questions for you. And what we do is channel it to you. But in the meantime, I'm going to cross over to Rishi, who's going to talk about the need for weed. What's that about, Rishi?
Yeah, well, the Prime Minister has started a discussion that some people wanted for a while now, that is to decriminalize marijuana here in Trinidad and Tobago. Well, the Prime Minister made that announcement over the weekend. We do have what he said right now.
In 2019, the government will examine the legislation regarding marijuana use, which Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley says largely imprisons young men from certain communities. At a campaign meeting for the PNM internal election in Diamond Vale, Diego Martin on Sunday, Dr. Rowley said our jails are full of young people, largely young men, because they smoked a marijuana joint. And the law in this country makes the smoking of a marijuana cigarette a criminal offense. He said, however, marijuana smoking in the upper echelons of society, where a serious number of acres of marijuana is burnt, very few of them end up in the jail. But the gift for those who are from Lavental, Enterprise or Cunupia, if you get caught with marijuana, you are going to jail. Dr. Rowley noted many of them cannot raise bail, so they rot inside the jail, and this is a matter of social justice that needs to be addressed. The Prime Minister said it is his responsibility as leader of the country to have this matter properly examined, and he's in discussion with the Attorney General. Dr. Rowley said in recent times he's met fathers who've lost their jobs because they smoked a marijuana cigarette and they are in jail, their children are unattended and unsupported. He said he's sure that was not the intention of the law. The Prime Minister said he does not buy for one moment that there are not deleterious effects from smoking marijuana, but the management of the offense has created its own problem and this country must now address it.
When we come back, Rishi will be chatting with Mr. Ramki soon about the need for weed. And just before we cross over to Rishi, I think you're done, Stephen.
I am done in the nick of time.
Yeah. And you were telling us that you're going to have a workshop later on this year?
Yeah, in addition with the ministry, I have a workshop that I'm doing. It's a master class in special effects makeup for beginners. It's an intro class. Yeah. So if you want to learn how to do this in about 5 minutes and using basic products, hit me up on StephenTaylorFilm@gmail.com. That's STEVEN TaylorFilm@gmail.com.
And I understand you're giving a scholarship as well.
Yes, it's a little surprise. We'll see if it comes through. That's also with the ministry at the Youth Festival. You know, some excited youth. If you want to learn and you was just like me, I could give you a bite.
So, is this certain? This looks very painful.
It looks painful.
Yeah, but it's not.
You gotta act a little bit. You gotta bring it to life. Bring it to life.
We're gonna go across with that. We're gonna thank you very much for coming on the show. We're gonna go across to Rishi now and find out about the need for weed.
Yeah, thank you very much.